Hello everyone, Christina here, and today I'm going to show you how I make an infographic using Adobe Express. Now, to be honest, my professor assigned this a while ago and I completely forgot about it until now, and it's due tomorrow. But I'm not worried because I know that I can make an infographic using Adobe Express really easy and really quickly. I'm going to show you some basic tips, a little bit of the interface, and how to get that infographic out done quick and easy, and without it looking like a last minute submission. So I'm going to show you how I went from this to this. Starting off at the Adobe Express webpage, we just go over here, click this purple circle, and the infographic option is going to be located under document. You just scroll down and it's right here. And the first thing that loads in is our document, as well as these templates on the left side. Now, I'm not going to use a template, but I'm going to point a few things out with these templates is that they all have a few things in common. Now, what makes a good infographic are these things that they share, which of course includes the title. These titles are bold, they are big, which makes them easy to read and easy to tell what the main topic of that infographic is about. The other things that they have in common include icons, graphics, shapes, arrows, and keeping that in mind, I'm going to make my own infographic from scratch. Now, I'm just gonna go over a few things over here in the left side bar. Here for upload, you can upload your own images, your own audio or video from your own computer or device. Media, this is where you can find the photos, videos, and audios that Adobe provides. Here in text, you can add your own text. You can use preset text that they have if you'd like. Now, under elements, this is where you're gonna find majority of your graphics for your infographic, and that is because the icons and shapes and design assets are located here. I'm just gonna start off with changing the background of my document. And if you already have an idea of what you want, you can go ahead and search it up and it'll bring up options for that. For me, I kind of want my background to look like a chalkboard. So now that I have my background, I'm going to add in text. And that very first thing I'm going to add in would be that big, bold title that gives context to what the topic of my infographic is. Now that I've typed it in, I can go ahead and customize that text to however I'd like. Now this is just the default settings, but I'm going to go ahead and click here for this drop down arrow and choose what font I would like. I'm going to make it much bigger, and I'm going to adjust the font size right here. I can just click the sliders and make it bigger, or I can just type it in. And to move the text around, I'm just going to click and drag. Now I know right now it is hard to read, and I could adjust the color if I would like by just clicking on it and clicking the fill color and hitting white, and of course that's readable, but I have something else in mind. So I went ahead and added in a paper tear graphic located under elements, but the only issue is that it's small. I can just go ahead and adjust the size by clicking and holding this circle and dragging. I'm just going to drag and move it up, but there seems to be an issue here, which is a very easy fix. Now, whenever you load something in, it's going to populate over here, and you see them in their own separate squares. These are layers, and layers are pretty simple. Whatever is at the top will appear visually on top of any other design element. So if I want the text to be in front of this paper tear, all I have to do is just hold and drag the paper tear below the text. Now the text is in front of that paper tear. I'm going to customize the font a little bit more. Now, of course, we have our options here, but if we scroll down, we can see that we have these other options too. We can generate a text effect. We can adjust the shadow. For now, I'm just going to go ahead and click shape. This is cool if you want a highlighting effect. Now this is a cool little trick that I like to do. I'm just going to go ahead and click shape fill, make it white, and there's this little option here to cut out text. I'm gonna go ahead and click that. It cut out that text from that box that was behind it. If I want to flip the colors, all I need to do is hit these arrows and it flipped those colors. So I think that's a pretty cool text effect. And of course, you can always explore all these different options and play with the settings to however you'd like. But for now, I'm just going to move on. I'm going to add some more graphics. to start adding in that context of my infographic. I'm going to use a different font for my body text. Since I made my background a chalkboard, I'm going to see if there's a font that has a chalk-like consistent. I'm going to type in chalk. I'm going to hit this one. I'm going to change the font color to be white so it's visible, and I'm just going to go ahead and add in my text and adjust it to however I like. And I'm just going to walk you through real quick some of the more fine-tuned adjustments you can do in customizing your text. Of course, we already know we can change the color. I don't like how far spaced it is between the sentences. There's a pretty considerable amount of space, and so I want it to be a little bit closer. Now you can do that when you click this little button right here, text spacing. Now we can slide it to have the letters to be spaced out more, or we can slide it back to have the letters be spaced in a little bit more together. For line spacing, I'm just going to adjust it so that the space between the sentences become shorter. One cool thing I want to show you guys is when you go to elements, you can go to shapes. I want to draw my own box around this text. I can do that. I can just go to draw shape. Here are the options for drawing your shape. Now you have these different border styles. I want my shape to look like chalk texture, which is very similar to asphalt. I'm going to go ahead and click that. And I want the color to be white since this is a black background. And I'm going to go ahead and test it out and see what it looks like. And I'm going to keep on adding graphics and adjusting. Now, let's say you want to add a QR code. I know I do. I'm going to go back to the main page of Adobe Express, and I'm going to hit Generate QR Code. I'm going to go ahead and paste in the URL of the website that I want to link to. And now that we have the link in there, it already has a QR code ready for us. Just hit download. I'm going to go back to my infographic. I'm going to go to upload, and I'm going to go ahead and upload that QR code from my downloads. And now that it's in, I'm just going to adjust it and put it wherever I want. And so now I think I am done with my infographic. I'm going to do one test, and that is zoom out to see what it looks like from afar. And now that I'm looking at it like this, I can definitely see those elements of an infographic, and that is the bold title. And the most important parts of my infographic are very readable. I'm going to go up here to the upper left corner where it says untitled and just name it. And now it is saved to the cloud, and I'm just going to hit download. And you can change the file format to whatever you like. In my case, my professor wants it to be a PDF, and it downloaded it to my device. Let's take a look at the before, and this is the after. So that was what I ended with. What do you guys think? Does it look like I did it last minute? Do you think my professor can tell? You don't have to answer that. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this helped. If you guys have any questions, comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.